You know that group chat that's 70% unhinged, 30% real life planning? Yep, that's us. We're Alicia and Valentina, and this is the AI, Money, and Girlhood podcast with Kiro, where we talk about what is going on with money, power, and tech, and how we take it back. So where are you right now?
I'm in Colombia.
What? Tell me more.
Yeah. It's crazy, girl. It's happening. I'm here. It's been what, like 2 days really? 2 full days. This is the second. Um, yeah, it's just unreal. I don't know how to explain. It's been a ride so far.
Okay, so you're in Colombia. Tell me a bit about why you decided
Yeah,
to go.
no, I feel like I just needed to, honestly, it's like an investment in my independence and pursuing a passion of just diving into something that I love so much, which is music. So I decided to enroll into like a music academy over here. Thanks to Kiro, I get to work remotely. Kiro sponsoring this adventure, technically. But no, literally though, it's actually crazy, Alicia. I'm realizing like coming in here and having my own apartment where I'm the only one, right? My own space. It's actually, I've lived briefly time periods in college. My roommates all left for a summer that I had to stay for an internship or whatever. And that was like some weeks alone, but like, this is my first time like actually alone, and it's not a matter of, oh, I'm in college, or oh, I have roommates, and it's not like I bought this place, but it's giving, this is my first time actually being in my own space in a new city. Like it's not necessarily a new city, but it is. I don't know where I am. I don't know anybody really. I know like four people, like family included. So, it's not a hub of, oh, I know where I'm going, because I have absolutely no idea. This whole time, every time I've stepped out has been with people because I don't literally know where I am. And you can't really use like, Google Maps here because you have your phone out. So it's like,
Someone's gonna steal it.
this is so scary. And I still haven't even gone out anywhere alone. I think
It's only day 2.5, like you're
no,
getting
literally,
there.
it's crazy. I've been surrounded by people, and I'm so thankful. One of my friends is gonna sleep over tomorrow or tonight, and like, she's so cute. She already has all these things planned, and like, she's a yoga teacher, so she's like, okay, sunrise tomorrow, yoga at this in front of the water, and then she's like, the 31st, we have this plan to go to this like jungle rave. Like, I don't know, it's just
Oh,
cool because
cool.
she's dating this one dude who's like super. I don't know him. She's just told me about him, and she's like, in love with him and whatnot, and he's a whole like DJ moment who's like been on Boiler Room, and he's played at some pretty cool venues, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, so he's gonna play there and we're gonna go support, and it's giving, okay, this is cute. I have plans that I wasn't really like
Yeah.
expecting.
You've been there for 2.5 days and you're about to go to this jungle rave with the guy who played at Boiler Room. Okay. I think
No,
things are off
literally.
to a good start. Like,
You're
I'm
so
not
sweet. Yeah.
surprised either.
No, I actually am surprised because I was like, I'm locking in here. I'm not going anywhere. That's the whole point. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I have to like connect with the music, the people. So
Yeah.
I'm obviously gonna go. And of course, it's my friend, so I'm not going alone. But even if I was, no, I couldn't. That's the thing. Europe and stuff, America, I'll go alone. Here, it's not. I'm so not in my territory. And like, so this has definitely been an experience. And I feel so proud of myself because I do feel like this is the first time the job I'm actively doing is providing me this life of like having my own place here, and it's beautiful, and I'm so thankful. I'm obviously like, your job pays for where you live and your life, right? It's more so I'm happily in this job. Like, I'm not doing a job to live. It's actually like I get to create, and I do it every single day, and I've thought about it like, dang, I do this every single day. But I'm
Yeah.
not even like, it's routine. It's like waking up. But it's better than waking up because I get to think, I get to create. And I started thinking, wow, this is so beautiful. Everything is temporary in life, that's the other thing. I know this apartment is only for like a month, but like it's all embracing these little milestones that are in the domino effect
Yeah.
energetically of like leading you somewhere, and it's just beautiful because I'm so thankful that I'm enjoying what I do, and I love having conversations with you. I love what everything Kiro stands for. I love that it's helping especially women in financial matters, and I get to create the social media. I get to have these conversations with you, make a greater community. It's just all beautiful, and I just like can't be more grateful in that regard. And this is like a physical.
Manifestation of it, almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Touch on something that's so important, and it's prioritizing yourself and doing what's right for you. And for you, it was like you wanted to pursue music. It was very hard to do that in the US. I mean, you have Colombian roots, so you just were like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to figure it out. And like the way you figured it out was like you got this remote job and like now you have a music teacher and now you're building community and you took the risk, right? Like, and I think a lot of people can be scared to take that risk because all of the uncertainty around it. Like you said, like you have accommodation for 1 month right now and who knows what's going to happen after that. But you figure it out once you hit that 1 month mark and you see where you're at. And maybe it's you stay in Colombia longer, or maybe it's you come back to the US, you go somewhere else. But everything that you do, even though it feels temporary, has this like incredible lasting impact on like defining who you are and helping you figure out who you are. And
Yeah.
so it's a beautiful thing, like, putting yourself first and just like putting aside all the other expectations of other people of you and society of you and just doing the damn thing.
You couldn't have said it better. It's definitely that, and it's not easy, and it's a decision that I'm like, okay, I made a decision. Like for me to make a decision is like a whole process. So it's like this decision is only going to lead me to other decisions. So
Yeah.
that's
Exactly,
something
exactly. So
something
tell me about your summer plans then. So your summer plans are spending at least a month in Colombia. Like, I know you and I have kind of talked about this. Like, summer's coming up, people are trying to make plans. Like, for example, I have a trip this weekend, and then I have a trip in 2 weeks, then I have another trip in July, and like another camping trip, and I'm just, this is getting expensive. Like,
No, I know you're booked and busy. I'm excited for you. You're gonna have so much fun.
yeah.
But the whole financial aspect of it all is not so fun.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Like I read this study recently that said as much as we're really excited about summer and plans, it's for Gen Z specifically, it's one of the most stressful financial seasons because there are just so many temptations and things to do with your friends. The weather's nice, trips to do, and so it becomes like really, really expensive. And so how are you thinking about that now that you're also in a new place? Like you're gonna want to do stuff in this new place. Like how are you navigating that?
No, definitely. I've started like using Kiro already, like budget. It's actually crazy because I've budgeted my time. Like I said, this is my first time actually living alone with work, like, but more so feeling in my own independence, like an adult fully. And I have to say, it's giving. I've never like budgeted like this before because I'm like, it's like, okay, I spent this, and it can be very annoying and frustrating, and it's normal, right? We like to have an idea. I hate to compare it. I feel like people who count their calories, like like it's kind of like, oh, but then you can think intuitively. I don't even want to ever count calories, so I'm like, of course, like, keeping receipts, and that's the good part. You don't have to hold it in your mind and like, journal about it necessarily. You're keeping tabs with your credit card, or if you're using cash, you withdraw, whatever. But like I'm definitely seeing how it's adding up even here. It's not like I spent $100 on groceries. That's crazy.
Oh,
Like
in
for here.
Colombia.
Yes, like it's actually kind
Yeah.
of insane. Insane.
Why do you think that is? I thought like the cost of living was way cheaper because
That's what I was
the
saying.
income
And
is
I think
less.
maybe it's the super grocery store I went to. They said it's more pricey, but it's the closest one near. So of course I got dinner and it's way cheaper. But the groceries is just like a universal thing right now. It's the economy taking place and having that global impact, right?
For sure, for sure. So we hosted this women's brunch this past weekend. We're calling it like the Cash Flow Queens brunch. It was amazing. It was in the Bay Area. Just like women from all walks of life came over and we talked about how we're navigating our finances, things that are top of mind for us, how we navigate talking about finances with our friends and family and our relationships. But what I wanted to say was the groceries that we got for the brunch, like, girl, smoked salmon from Trader Joe's, which, like Trader Joe's is supposed to be affordable, $24.
Wait, just a little packet?
Just the little packet.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't think I've ever seen anything that has $24 written on at Trader Joe's.
Like, so you might as well take a flight to Alaska and learn how to fish.
Fresh fish.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow.
It is pretty crazy. And so when I think about,
The event was beautiful.
yes, the event was amazing. I'm not counting the, calories, the receipts, because that was
Yeah.
priceless. That space was honestly so priceless. Everyone was just so open to sharing their perspective, what they're going through. But just that grocery trip, is Costco any cheaper? Where are things cheaper? And even it was last week, like Walmart announced that it's like raising prices. Girl, I grew up at Walmart. We got our toaster from Walmart. We got our tires changed at Walmart, like everything. And I can't imagine buying an expensive toaster at Walmart or even
No,
groceries, but
it's
they're
wasn't it
raising
wasn't it
prices.
yeah, wasn't it great value?
Yes, that's what
And
we
now
used to
now it's just,
buy.
like, good value.
Just remove the word value, actually. And then it's not even
Great.
that great.
That's so funny.
Dude, things are expensive. And so like, when I think about all the things I'm planning for the summer, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, how do I make this sustainable? But I also want to enjoy myself. And how do I also bring up these conversations with my friends and not try to be that, cheap friend and be like, oh, can we eat at home? But honestly, is eating at home affordable depending on what you want to eat?
So true, so true. And it also brings the question, more in a, like, deeper sense, like, the question of like what's worth it because these that event was priceless. These experiences you're about to embark on are priceless. Like as far as you told me about going to like the north of California and all of these things that you have going on, and it's like how do we really and truly define like the price of things? I guess you could say. What is
That's
the cost?
Yeah, that's such a great no, it's such a great question because like you and I have talked about this before, but like we spend like most of our money on our friends. Like I think there was actually a study by like Lending Tree, I think it was like the year before last year, but it was like 75% of Gen Z have spent money to just keep up with friends. I think about that for myself, like where am I spending most of my money? And it's on experiences with my friends, either for a birthday or a hangout. A lot of this is around consuming things to catch up with our friends. But then I literally don't even spend money to like get my eyebrows done nowadays. Like I don't spend money to get my nails done or woman's hair,
Self-care,
yeah,
right?
self-care. And I literally am like, I definitely can't spend money on that. But like I can spend money on, this birthday dinner that's gonna cost $100. But will never spend $100 on myself. And like, how do
Mm.
we balance that? Like, how do you think about it?
It leads us to like are we investing in others more than ourselves, and how can we invest in others if we're not investing in ourselves, right? For me, I've always kind of just as far as like beauty, I stopped completely waxing my eyebrows in high school because they were thinning out and I was just like, okay, this is not a look. So I don't do that. I don't have a lot of beauty upkeep, but I will say I'm thankful for that because I kind of intentionally and not intentionally just don't give it attention. But I will say that is a privilege because although I say that the shampoo and like conditioner, everything that's not even that intensive or routine, it adds up. And I have curly hair, so I have to get a type of special conditioner, or it's going to be more pricier because of that. And then I want good ingredients, and then it all adds up, right? And then you're factoring time, like the time spent on this too. I think although I'm not necessarily getting like routine facials, I know for other women it's a part of their self care and I respect it. And I think that also takes time, that takes money, that is both. It really is a question. Like, I think women's upkeep is definitely more expected by society as well. It's crazy. The standard and the makeup, the cost of makeup. I know, like, I when I go, I literally like clench my wallet because I'm like I want to like ball out and like self-care, self-love because I don't even shop that excessively or like go shopping really, especially for makeup. When it's like okay, it's been a while. Like it's a new season. It's been 2 years, like a year. Like
Like my
and I'm like
concealer is crusty right now. I think
yeah,
I'm
no, this
gonna
is
nail it.
actually not even working. I don't even think it should get to that point, right? But I'm just, oh my gosh, it is like $50 for one thing, or and even if you go the like more affordable route, it's still expensive and it's
Yeah.
still you're feeling like oh the quality and you can get what is it doof? What do they call it? A dupe?
A
Yeah.
do
You can get a dupe and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah.
You want to feel like you're like investing in yourself, but then you're like, oh, like I took the cheap route, but then I'm like, it's
Yeah.
okay because it's like where we're at. And then
Yeah.
there's that like, oh, I'm fighting for like self care while I'm easily able to drop $100 on a friend's
Yes.
bachelorette like dinner.
The answer is for that though. Like I think I've struggled with it a lot because I definitely spend way less on myself and way more on my friends and experiences with my friends.
Yeah.
But One way to frame it is like, what do you value more? And I think for me, my values are very much aligned with community and spending time with people. Like, what fulfills me, what brings me joy is hanging out with my friends. And so maybe that's why I have that higher willingness to spend more on them or those experiences, because that gives me more than getting makeup or whatever, or like getting a massage. Occasionally, yeah, I do love a good massage. Don't get me
I will say,
wrong.
like, I do invest in a massage. Like, that is wholeheartedly, like, necessary. Like, I will say
Yes,
the
I
benefits
agree
are
with
there.
that. But now that I'm thinking out loud, it's just, you invest in your values, you spend money in your values, and that's what a lot of us value. But then if you don't necessarily, this is kind of grim, but if you don't necessarily value spending all that time with your friends, then you just like, do some reflection. Like, do I need to go and attend this batch? Is it serving me in the best way possible? I have a friend who she literally said, I never have attended a bachelor. I've been invited to so many, but it's just because I don't want to be in that space. It's just not for me. Like, I'd rather spend one-on-one time with that friend one off and I figure that out on the side. And I think that's like a great
Respect.
that's great boundary to create,
Respect.
right?
Oh my god, I applaud her. She's saying what we're all thinking.
Like for real though, for real. And
Honestly.
but that's the
They're
same thing,
fun.
like
Don't get me wrong, they're fun, but like
I think about it for weddings too, right? Like there was a stat that I saw, the average wedding guest spends at least like I don't know, like $800 or $600 to $800. And I don't even think that includes if you're traveling to a wedding. That just includes probably what you're wearing, like gifts and everything. And I'm going to a couple weddings this summer, and I was like, okay, how do I like value, like how do I put a value around this? Like what matters to me the most? It's not like I guess like my appearance and all that stuff. Like what matters to me the most is these are people who mean a lot to me and I want to be there for them on their special day. And yes, this will cost a lot of money because I have to pay for a flight and accommodation, etc. But like I will not remember how much that total was. I will remember seeing those two people on their wedding day, like this like hopefully once in a lifetime thing for them. And
absolutely.
they're like special people in my life. And so there isn't, and then I told myself, wait, actually there like Alicia, there isn't a value to that. That's again going back to this like whole priceless thing. A place of privilege for me to say that because I do have the means to buy the flight, get the accommodation, get the dress, whatever it is. But initially when I was like going through how much it would cost, I was like budgeting for like these weddings, I was like, oh my God, like this is a lot. And then I was like, wait, hold on, take a step back. I do like a bit of like money journaling. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but it's essentially when I'm journaling, I talk about my finances because my finances are something that stress me out on a regular basis. And that's where am able to like ground myself and recognize I'm making these choices and I'm happy, like I'm actually happy with them. And I shouldn't let anxiety or stress supersede that happiness, because what drives my happiness and joy is experiencing these moments with my friends or my community or my family.
Absolutely. I was gonna say I've never kept a journal for my finances as far as writing about them. I've written numbers, data, but never my feelings associated with it. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, you
And
can
it makes
honestly,
sense. It makes sense. Like you do
You can
Kiro.
use you can use Kiro for that as your journal, right?
Yeah.
Just be
More
like,
so. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Like, help me think through it. You and I talked about this. Like, girl, I have used ChatGPT to like, think through my thoughts, and I think it's a great space to
That's
brainstorm.
GPT is made
Literally, like best friend, maid of honor, therapist, maybe mom and dad. Like, wait,
everything, everything, everything like
yeah, yeah.
we
But you
don't
know what?
deserve.
You know what is interesting though? So let me ask you this, kind of
Yes.
tied to your budgeting and then planning for summer and stuff. What I've noticed when I talk to a lot of my like clients or like hero users in the coaching process is that, people can easily tell me how much they spend for like a birthday gift or a dinner or planning some event, but they can't even like out some kind of like automatic transfer for savings goal. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think, is it because we get like instant gratification by like doing these things and like they're more time sensitive, these things being these events or gatherings or experiences? And we can't like see that leaving, $20 even per month has this like positive outcome or per week. Like, people really struggle with that, setting up that recurring transfer, but they are just fine spending $80 for dinner in New York City.
That's so interesting to think of it that way. I've never thought about it that way, where it's like you're basically taking the to me it's like, oh, saving $20 is like nothing, but then like $80 is something, but it's worth that evening, right? Like, which in turn is kind of crazy because that's so fascinating. You have something going here that I honestly am a little.
Should I be thinking like that?
Yeah, I mean, to me it's like interesting. It's very interesting. I'm sitting with this. I
Yeah.
really am. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's I think it's always harder to contextualize a long-term goal. And like, if you're putting $20, like automating $20 transfer for per week, you're just like, well, what is that going to? What am I getting out of that? And so like the way that I think about it and the way I try to like frame this conversation with people when they're trying to set up a habit of savings is that it shouldn't just be a habit of savings. Like you have an objective in mind, a goal, and it can be like a short-term goal, a medium-term goal, long-term goal. So like the way that my partner and I talk about it is like one of our long-term goals is to buy a house one day. And so I know that by setting up that automatic transfer, it's going towards that 5-year goal. And like one day I will see that come to fruition. But like it doesn't have to be that big of a goal. Like even for you, like it's maybe, in 2 months you want to do a trip somewhere, or you're going to have to upgrade your laptop or your phone in the next 6 months. Just putting that tangible goal attached to it could help you set up that recurring transfer and make you think about it in a way that I'm getting the almost immediate value, like as we do when we like go out for like the dinner or an experience.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying because it's not necessarily either or tangible, like in this regard. I mean, a house will be, but like, it could take years. I guess the way I view it more as is, okay, I have my said payment for like the month, whatever, and I get this paycheck or whatever it is, your salary. And then I kind of just, I'm like, okay, let me do every responsibility that I have to do, groceries, rent, whatever it is, right? And then I kind of like, okay, I'm left with this, like let me not use that. And then I'm like, okay, I'll save. That's how I thought about it more or think about it, where it's like a lot, this amount for like going out and friends. If I go a little bit over, okay, but try to leave 100 for the next rollover, like saving.
Yeah.
That's
What
how
if,
I view it.
what if this is, I'm just thinking out loud here of a new way to reframe it, but
Yeah.
when you get your income and then you look at your expenses, and obviously your main expenses are rent, groceries, utilities, transportation. Those maybe in some, you can
Gym.
reorder the prioritization. Gym, yeah, exercise.
Oh,
Yes, girl, I'm going to the gym later today. That
yes. Happy
too.
Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, gym day every day. But what if one of those priority line items before the budget for entertainment, like hanging out with your friends, was that savings pot for XYZ goal? And that is actually a forced line item that you think about every month as a required expense for you. So just like how a required expense for you is your groceries or like your gym subscription, whatever it is, then a required expense for you is like forcing yourself to transfer $50 at the end of your pay period before you even allocate the money towards entertainment and like just like social.
Hmm. Okay.
It's just like a reframing thing, And like one super easy way to do it is if you, for example, know the days that you get paid, if you're like
Mhm.
biweekly, monthly, the days that you get paid, you already set up in your bank account an automatic transfer that date that you get paid. And so it's actually just already out. And it's in
Yeah.
your either in your savings pot, like your high yield savings account. Remember, we don't do regular savings accounts. We do high yield savings accounts because you're not earning money on a regular savings account. Or you allocate it towards your investment account, like either your Roth IRA or a brokerage account. And then I think the piece there is if you choose to direct transfer to an investment account, you will have to take the next step of going to the investment account and making the investment. But the easiest thing that you can do is just make sure you set up an automatic transfer every time you get your paycheck and that money is out the door, like as if it was an expense line item. Just like how like we have, how you can set like recurring payments for your utilities and stuff like that. Like when you get the bill, it automatically sends. Do that for your savings pot.
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must.
Exactly. And like if it's hard for you to pull the trigger of doing that, then put a goal around it. Put such a tangible goal around it. And if your budgeting is with Kiro or a spreadsheet, whatever you use, put that as a line item as the expense, not savings pot like Tina's trip to Italy. That's what the expense is called. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
such
giving
an
like a little jar of like
yes, a
your
coin
pennies.
jar. Yeah. But like that's how like it's like we just talk through this in like 3-4 minutes, and that's how long it would take you to do that.
So
And so
true.
next time you and I catch up, I'm going to make sure you have that pot set up. But yeah, no, it's hard, right? This kind of stuff is hard to do because I mean, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. It's like scary to like set that auto transfer up, but I think it like forces us to build this mindset around just making sure that we're setting ourselves up for success in the future or we're saving towards a goal. Because
Yeah.
the other thing is there's this whole debate, why would I not enjoy my life? And like, what am I saving for? Why am I just going to save for the rest of my life? And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying save for the rest of your life. I'm just saying make sure you have an emergency fund set up or make sure you create the savings goal for yourself so then you can achieve the like bigger picture, more big ticket item experiences later instead of like something comes up like wedding or bachelorette and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't save for that. And then you feel
Yeah,
more stressed. Gives you peace of mind. It's a bit of like an insurance.
definitely.
So
Beautifully
yeah.
said.
Thank you.
Thank you, because I didn't think like how I was approaching it was necessarily, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way of approaching it. I just think the takeaway is to make sure you're prioritizing it and using it just like any other expense and like, allotting that certain amount of money to go directly towards your savings because that's kind of the approach I had, but it's not as like strict
Mhm.
as far as yeah, it's at the end of the road,
It's an
and
afterthought. It's an
yeah.
afterthought when it's like that. Whereas like, and like we can even like rephrase it. It doesn't have to be strict, right? Like it's
Yeah,
just like
because I
this.
think stresses me out. It's like I'm not trying to be stressed. I'm trying to enjoy the money I have, and then I'm like, okay, and then I'm saving. Okay, yes, saving is priority. I guess showing everything's a priority, and that
Well,
shouldn't necessarily stress you out,
I think
but
when
it
it's an
does.
when it's an afterthought, it actually feels more stressful because then you're thinking about like, oh my God, how much do I have left over to save? Whereas if it's automatically transferred, you're not even thinking about it anymore.
That's so true. It's like peace of mind that
Exactly.
I'm taking care. I've taken care of that.
It's in the background. I'm actually not thinking about it ever, and it's already
I
being
love
done.
this. I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
Yes. Yes. Like
I
even
needed this conversation today.
and I tell people, like, I'm not talking about like hundreds of dollars here. Even if it's $50, it's
Yeah,
something. Set that up.
yeah.
Set up that transfer because we spent $50 on a dinner last night. You can do that transfer.
So true. That's so true. So true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll do a cheeky plug here, but if any of this resonates with any of you, you can use Kiro for free at app.joinkiro.com. But it does help you on figure out what your goals are. But then to kind of this dialogue that Tina and I are having, you can actually directly have that on Kiro with this AI financial coach and build a plan around it. And our objective is for you to do this in like a way that doesn't increase your stress and anxiety around money, but you have this like accountability, like money sidekick who's just holding your hand through that journey.
Yeah,
And
bettering the relationship as well
exactly,
with your money and with yourself. Ultimately, it's a part of our life, no matter how much you
exactly.
want to avoid it.
And we shouldn't avoid it, right? And that's a
Right.
mindset shift. And so, like, I think we're trying to create a solution and tool that it doesn't have those negative connotations, but more of just friends that can support you. And we don't have to avoid it anymore. We can come up with methods of just transferring our money automatically or just other tools to overcome the anxiety and afterthought of money.
Yes, and it's so supportive. Like I know I use it, and it's almost like, well, I have Kiro. Like I'm all good. Like that's it's become my new like a safety net. Yeah, it catches you. It really does. It does. I love it.
Exactly. And that's what I think that's what a lot of people just need. They just need that support system. But also we have community around it too. So we have this amazing community where you can talk about all this stuff, like the things you learn from Kira, things you learn from this podcast, from anywhere. And you can just see how other people are navigating it. It's always really helpful to like have community around that, just like a safe space to have that dialogue.
Absolutely. I love it. It's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think what we're building with that is something that, yes, there's different AIs. You could use ChatGPT, but like Kiro is not only almost, I don't want to say network, but it is kind of like a network of like everyone who is prioritizing and using this tool to not only get better with their finances, but interact with others. Because, like I said, we're building this community as well that we're able to exchange these conversations or have a connection if you want to get into investing in real estate or anything. Like I have this group of women and also some guys that
Yeah,
are part of this group. Like maybe they have a lead, or and that's just the beauty of community. Community is there to support,
exactly.
uplift, and in different ways that will show up. And what's more intimate, one of the most intimate things is finances in an interesting way. We got to go over that in another episode for sure.
Yeah.
Intimacy and finance, like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love that. Intimacy and finances, relationships and finances. You and I have said this before, like people are more comfortable talking about like literally anything else, like sex and everything, like, but not money. And it's like, okay, we should unpack that a bit.
Yeah, that's so true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
But yeah, I think my main takeaway for today was for me, it's like as a part of my reflection with my spending, especially going to the summer, is just like being kinder to myself and recognizing that even though I am potentially spending more money on experiences with my friends or for my friends, it's because that's what I value. And that's okay. Yeah.
That's beautiful, and I agree. For me, I value experiences. And experiences, it just gets so interesting. And I'm glad we're having this conversation today, because then it's like, do I really want to go to this friend who invited me to a bachelorette, but I'm not even like, she's not really having bridesmaids. Like, it's like, but I'll go to the wedding. Uh, it's so, it can get so chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do it like that at the end of the day, it's like you do what's best for you and like
Yeah.
prioritize yourself. And part of that self-love is doing what's best for you and just being really open with your friends about it too and trying to create space for that dialogue. But one thing I do want to
Absolutely.
invite everyone that's listening is just if you want, please feel free to share with us how you think about this, how you navigate those boundaries, how you're thinking about it just even for the summer. What are you going through? We'd love to hear from all of you and get you involved more in our community as well.
Yeah, and I'm interested for the tea. Like, what's the most you've ever spent on a wedding, as like
Yeah.
a guest, as a bridesmaid, as a bride, as a groom? Like, how do you guys run that out? Is because, like, also, I've had these conversations with friends who are married. Like, it's like traditional for like the woman's parents. Like, is it not like that now, where it's like, no, it's more so equal, or the couple only, or like the man? Like, these are so hush hush conversations, I feel,
Yeah.
that I'm trying to get answers on, because the internet does not. They're like, "Oh, it's really up to the couple." Like, I'm sorry, but like,
No,
I don't know how to have this conversation. I'm anxious.
I want to hear from real people and lived experiences. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. And
absolutely.
how it made you feel, and if you would change your mind about it, or have a different approach, or you learned something from someone that inspired you.
Yeah. Please share those stories because we'll have an episode about that. And then yeah, next episode will be more around the TT, the Trump tariffs. And how there is actually a bigger pink tax burden that will fall upon women with these tariffs and just like how we'll navigate that. And Tina and I will talk about how we're feeling about it, what the internet's feeling about it, what other women are feeling about it. And yeah, more to come on things around wedding, fertility, AI, you name it. Remember, what are we, the
Wow.
certified yappers?
You're so cute. Yes, we really are coming in hot with all the yaps.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you
Yeah.
for holding space. Good fortunes to all.
And a Merry Christmas to you all, and to all a good night. That's what that sounded like.
I feel